Before the video starts, I want to make a quick announcement, Vetters. I want to announce Vetted's brand new merch line. Over the past 4 months, I have been testing all kinds of different fabrics and designs to come up with some brand new stuff that I think you guys are finally going to like. Stuff I would want to wear. That's basically the approach I took. Just like this. Our Believe hat that you can see right here. Looking good. Our Believe t-shirt. This thing is awesome, I promise you. We got a brand new mug that says, I want to believe, not be deceived. You can also find it in a t-shirt like this. Loving it. And of course, if you just want to get some vetted merch, you could just do that with the V. I got this badass hat. And you can even get a hoodie like this. This thing is sick. And I've even got these awesome vetted playing cards with this cool UFO Polaroid on the front, which you can even get in a t-shirt. Look at this thing. Come on. That's sick. Let's go, y'all. And the coup de grace is this Psionics poster, which you can get. It's framed, glass frame. It's amazing. You won't regret it. Look at this thing. Come on, that's sick. We've got a t-shirt too. Go to vettedmerch.store. Link in the description. As always, there's even products tagged underneath this YouTube video. Check it out. Let me know what you think. It's ufo-track.com. Is that right?
Yes, there's a hyphen between UFO and track. Just like in my, can you see the poster behind me? UFO track.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. You know what? That's smart. That's smart to put that behind you like that. I like it. I like it. No, it's a great idea. So you mentioned something about a device that can detect gravitic anomalies and electromagnetic anomalies.
Yeah. It's called UFO Sense, and it's got a magnetometer in it and an accelerometer in it, and John's going to show it off here. It just
looks like a UFO. All right, y'all. Welcome to the show. I want to make sure I get these names right. So we got John Craig and EJ Thornton. Is that right? Is that how we're?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Well, thank y'all for coming on the show. And y'all are married, right?
Yes.
Wow.
I was an author first, and I needed to keep my professional name, so sorry.
Yeah. Hey, I get it. My wife didn't take my name either. That's a sort of a Spanish thing. It's just not something they do here. You don't take the name, so totally get it. Respect it.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. I also saw, John, you said in an interview that I watched, you were an engineer, and EJ, you're a mathematician, right?
Yeah.
Is that correct? Wow,
Yeah.
What kind of fights do y'all get into? About, I don't know.
The number is small.
It's the theoretical versus the practical,
Sure.
The mathematician never gets there, but the engineer goes, close enough.
Yeah. That's great. I love that. That's so cool. Well, this is quite a interesting project that y'all are working on. I think what fascinated to me, like I said, I don't do a lot of interviews, but what attracted to me to what y'all are doing, I cover the UFO news on my channel, right? Like that's my thing. I cover it all the time, and I get quite frustrated, and I see a lot of of fans of Vetted, same thing, getting frustrated with this idea of disclosure and government, who's whistleblowing, who's that. And I love that y'all are pushing citizen disclosure, because that's something I always promote myself on the channel. I just think that's such a positive thing. And when I saw that's really what y'all are trying to do, a couple of regular people who have had some experiences and who are very interested in this, and you decided to put your money where your mouth is. Decided to say, you know what, we're going to do something about it.
Exactly.
And I love that. What is it about? What is it about like regular, government disclosure that frustrates you all, that made y'all want to, go through citizen disclosure?
Well, for me, it's the fact that disclosure has been coming out for like 80 years or something, and just so slow. It just doesn't happen. And every time I get excited about, this is finally going to be it. And right now, we really do have a good chance of some disclosure coming out. But I'm still not convinced. I think there's an excellent chance it'll be a disappointing kind of trickle of information. So we've got ways that we've decided that we can try to help with citizen science kind of efforts to force more disclosure, more get further and further away from the giggle factor and get the science going on this. And so that's what we're all about. We got an idea how to do it. A really set of ideas, actually.
Well, we talk about this at length, and he and I, based on our careers and stuff, is like, well, what can we do to actually prove it? What would it take to actually prove a sighting? What would it take to actually prove that there's something exotic flying up there? And one of them is multiple witnesses on the same event. The biggest thing is multiple witnesses on the same event. So how do you get a real-time notification system going so that people can find out that something's flying in your skies right now? Go outside, get that camera going, and then have a central repository so we can compare and contrast. A lot of people, when they report a UFO, they just kind of hope that whoever they report it to maybe can compare notes with other people. That's just not the way that it really works. Most of those organizations are kind of proprietary about the data that they come in. And I don't know that there's a lot of people looking at this as like a whole data set. And as a mathematician and the background that I've got, that's what I look at as data sets and patterns and this, that, and the other thing. So we can see these things, and we can get people out there with our notification system if they sign up through our real-time network. And that's what it's going to take. It's going to take 2 witnesses are so much more credible than 1. And photos are much more credible, let alone photos from 2 different vantage points. We're getting into the realm of proof at that point. And that's all it's going to take. So we are working to create a real-time response network. So that's what we've created, and that's what we hope will bring about citizen-led disclosure.
Yeah, I'm part of MUFON, and I really think MUFON's a great organization, and they do very valuable analysis after the fact. And so do these other groups. And everybody's collecting good data with all kinds of expensive equipment and stuff like that. But we figure we can do something to get people out right away in real time and add that kind of a unique service. I don't think anybody else is doing that. So we got this UFO track project where we can have people very economically either get an instrument that's like, it's only $100 for UFO sense that can 24/7 sit on your shelf and help detect electromagnetic and gravitic anomalies, or you don't even have to do that. If you're just a member for $5 a month, so we can cover our texting costs. As a member, if any other member sees or reports a UFO within 50 miles of your location, you will automatically get a text alert. And that's where we can get people out there. Like I keep going back to the Phoenix Lights event, where there were I don't know how many people saw stuff, but they didn't know anybody else was seeing it, and they not too many cameras actually caught anything,
and nobody went out prepared, right?
Right. And if we had the UFO track system, the network going at that at that time, and today we will for the next big event, then we could probably get a lot of really quality corroborating evidence visually and camera wise. We can go over camera stuff later, but that's kind of our main goal.
Wow. No, I love that. So if I looked it up correctly, I don't have it in front of me. Maybe I do. It's UFO-track.com. Is that right?
Yes. There's a hyphen between UFO and track. Just like in my, can you see the poster behind me? UFO track.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. You know what? That's smart. That's smart to put that behind you like that. I like it. No, it's a great idea. So you mentioned something about a device that can detect gravitic anomalies and electromagnetic anomalies.
Yeah.
It's called UFO Sense, and it's got a magnetometer in it and an accelerometer in it. And John's going to show it off here. It just
looks like a UFO. I love it.
3D.
Look like a UFO.
It's wow. My background is in software and electronics. I've written books for software for Microsoft and O'Reilly, but electronics background too. So I came up with this idea of putting today's very, very quality little tiny solid state sensors, got 2 little modules in here, plus a computer and a Wi-Fi connection. So you just plug it in. When you first get it, you connect it to your Wi-Fi system, put it on a shelf just sitting there. There's a way to test it every once in a while if you want, but it'll just sit there and monitor 24/7. And if it detects either either the Earth's magnetic field shifting or changing in strength, or if the Earth's gravity field either increases a little bit for more than 2 seconds or decreases for more than 2 seconds, either of those will set off an alert, and it goes through the Wi-Fi server, and then everybody within 50 miles gets an alert right away.
And it gets plotted on a map in real time as well.
Great.
Wow, that is so cool.
I just actually finished.
I love that.
I just finished inventing a portable unit that won't connect to Wi-Fi, but you can take it camping. And if you do get an alert, there's a way to report. I'll let EJ talk about how to manually file a report. You don't have to use this device. You can actually do it manually in real time.
Go to the website, and I'm assuming there's a form or something.
The website, and it'll say report a UFO here, but the website itself is report.ufotrack.com. And it's very quick. In fact, while you're watching it, if you have it saved on your desktop on your phone, you can pre-fill in your longitude and latitude and your email, and that'll save reporting time. But we just want to know 2 or 3 things when you report. One, what kind of UFO is it? Is it a triangle? Is it an orb? Is it a bunch of lights? Is it a solid, whatever? And then what direction it was heading. That way, when people get the alert, they can say, okay, their map is right there. I am southwest of it. Oh my gosh, it's coming southwest. So I know exactly where to look. They need to look northeast because it's coming straight for them. So what we want to do is with these text messages, not just tell them that there's something in their area, but what it looks like and where it's coming from, so that they can be really ready.
Increase the odds.
Get out there. They're like the first responder, the firemen that go, okay, I'm engaged. I've got to go out. And they're not all shaky like the people that are seeing it at first with, oh my God, it's a UFO. What is it? What is it? No, they're like, okay, I got this. I'm on the team. I'm ready to report, and I'm ready to get some data and help bring disclosure forward.
Yeah.
So,
no, that's so cool. What, John, if you had all the money in the world, what kind of home device would you make? Because I would imagine you've made that, and that's great. But are there other things you would add to that device if you could?
Oh yeah, one of the ideal things that I'm kind of working on, back burner project, is an all sky camera that's a lot more economical than the ones you get right now. Yeah. So yeah, if I had all the money though, I'd go out and get a lot of this other equipment people are making that's really good stuff. But it's kind of expensive. We're trying to keep the price as low as we can so people can play with this. And
so there's no barrier to entry. Everybody can play, because this doesn't just affect, the people with disposable income. This affects everybody. So it's either $5 a month that you sign on to Patreon, which hopefully anybody can do, or you get a device and, that's $100, and then you sign up for whichever kind of membership that you want after that. But it's super, super easy to play and engage and become part of this. Basically, it's a grand experiment. So we're hoping that the public engages, and we're hoping that we can gather great data. And we have actually, just in the last 6 months since we started, had some really interesting events. So this works. And as soon as we can actually get much more membership and many more devices out there, I just think that map's just going to be lit up, and we're going to watch UFOs just travel the whole country and know exactly where they are and where to look, and see that it started in Utah and it ended in Wisconsin. And we have the technology. The system has been built with the technology to do just that.
Have you thought about approaching, and maybe you've already thought of this, but approaching cities, like the politicians of local cities, and seeing if you can put them in public places to help.
They'd be great in libraries or schools, things like that. Even little touristy spots like the UFO Watchtower up here in Hooper, Colorado, or some museum or something. All we have to do is put the silent sentinel and attach it to their Wi-Fi, and then it's a detector for whoever. I think that reporters should have this myself. I think people that want to be the first on the scene for news, oh my goodness, get a reporter to have a device and be a member, and get the data first. I mean, that's
Sure.
there's so many angles that we want to hit.
Of
But
course.
yeah,
Of course.
no, we are going to actually be doing some road travels and try to talk to people that are interested in the subject and get them to get a device in their area, and then
Yeah.
highlight the fact that there is a device within 50 miles of them. If they want to get the notifications, all they have to do is sign up on our Patreon.
Kind of ideally, we'd like to go out and have some campfire talks and do some kind of structured video things with members that we check in with before we go, and because then we can get all over the country and find really interesting people to talk with, and that's just kind of a part of the social network. One of the things that we haven't brought up yet is that it's really great if you can get two people to see the same event. That kind of like more than doubles the credibility. But
Sure.
if you can get two cameras, and everybody's got a camera in their pocket nowadays, and most of the photo forensics kind of stuff that people are concerned about is the quality of the pictures. We're more concerned with if you can get a dot of light in the sky and you get the trees and the buildings in the foreground, so for reference, if you can get some video of an object and somebody down the street or a mile away even can get the same object at the same time in their video, and what we're doing can increase the odds of that greatly, then we can do triangulation. We've got software tools to help with doing the analysis. This can get us altitude, size, velocity, acceleration data that these other systems really struggle to get. It's not, and I think it's extremely useful.
Sure.
Yeah, when we get to what we call the no-fly zone, nothing can fly above 20 miles. That's known.
We know of.
Airplanes and balloons can't go over roughly 20 miles, and no orbiting objects, satellites, can come down below about 100 miles. So between 20 and 100 miles, there is a no-fly zone where if you can catch something in there, then
you're positive we've got exotic.
Yeah,
it's more interesting for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And that's
we set up skywatches where we put our two cameras a few miles apart, and he runs one and I run another, and we focus on the same star, so we're looking at the same part of the sky, and then we overlay those two images, and if we see any parallactic shift, we can calculate where it is, how fast it's going, and if it's obeying the law of physics. And there's not a lot of, aside from radars and very sophisticated like military equipment, there's not a lot of equipment out there that can do that kind of calculation so that we know that we've got something interesting. So math and science are going to win the day. They're just going to win the day.
Well, I agree with that. What if UFOs aren't flying around that affect electromagnetism or gravity? What
if they're not?
Yeah. How do we know how UFOs are flying around? Like that they would set off those sensors? Like what made y'all pick those specific?
There's actually a lot of evidence. We did a lot of research, especially on Project Blue Book files and other files, to see if we could find just a few or a lot of cases where the compasses were spinning or the engines were stalled. And we came up with hundreds of sightings like that. Like the Kenneth Arnold sighting where he's, over Mount, I forget the names. Mount Rainier. His compass is spinning. Well, there's a geologist on the mountain below the same day, same time, saw the same objects, and his compass was spinning. And this is on Project Blue Book. It's not just a goofy sighting. It's a real recording.
His name was, I want to say it was Fred something. Fred. Anyways, his name was Fred, and he was on Mount Adams, so less than 50 miles away from Kenneth Arnold, and he was on the ground. But he saw the same objects fly over because the time was right and everything like that. His sighting is in Project Blue Book. But Kenneth Arnold's is not, or if it was, it got dismissed as, however they dismissed that one. But it was just, there was like 6 witnesses to the same sighting. So if we'd have had UFO track back with Kenneth Arnold, we'd already had disclosure. Because there were multiple witnesses, and but nobody got any photos because that was way before photos were as easy as they are today.
Sure.
But we'd have had multiple witnesses. We could have triangulated. We could have done all sorts of stuff. We could have advanced this topic a lot further and not been quite so steamrolled with
You
the
dismissed. Yeah.
answers.
Sure. Sure.
Gaslighted. That's the word.
Yeah, gaslight. Yeah, I get it. So, I always wonder about this. So, are these objects, where do you think they are before they flying around in this no-fly zone? Does that make sense? Like,
They're in orbit, maybe? Or I kind of personally think that there's a lot of different species visiting us with a lot of different levels of technology and things way beyond what we can imagine even. But one of the tools on our website that are free for anybody to look at, we can talk about that more later, but one of the tools is just a fun little experiment in getting the very latest numbers from NASA and other sources for the number of stars in our galaxy, the number of galaxies that we've detected, the number of planets planets around each star on the average, and the number of those, the percentage of those that are in the habitable zone with liquid water.
Yeah.
And the number of those habitable zone planets calculated from valid data is much bigger than most people realize. And so this little tool tells you, if you equated each of those habitable zone planets with a US penny, then how big of a stack would those pennies form? And 1 million pennies is something like a refrigerator, stacked up in a volume. Well, the number of planets, habitable zone planets stacked up in pennies, would cover the entire continental United States, all 48 states, to 6 miles deep.
wow.
No idea that there's that many.
The number is staggering.
Wow.
Just staggering. So I don't think that there is one answer to where these are or even what we're going to find. I think if we do find something exotic, that doesn't end our search. It's just, that's just one piece of the data.
I agree.
So
I suspect there's DNA life all through our galaxy and all kinds of other life forms, perhaps. But I think that's why we see so many different strange looking vehicles and entities and stuff. So that's my personal theory. Perhaps the Greys live nearby and they show up more often. But there's some really reported strange things that only happen once. It could be species that are just coming to visit all the time.
Sure. Is it, I always say the question isn't, are we alone? I think the majority of humans think we're not alone in the universe. The bigger question is, are we alone on this planet? Right. And that's a much different thing. How on a scale of, 0 to 100, like 100%, how convinced are y'all that, it sounds like y'all are pretty convinced, but just to make sure, that, other life has visited this planet?
I'm well over 99% plus. Nothing's absolute, 0% probability or 100% probability, but you can get pretty darn close to 100%. And that's kind of where I'm at on it.
Sure. Totally respect that. EJ, you feel the same way?
I do. I haven't had the same experiences that John had. He had a lot of experiences before we got together. However, researching this data and being involved with this and the things that we've seen since we've been together, oh my goodness. So I'm thoroughly convinced. It feels a lot like the movie Contact, where it's like everybody's like, well, you're just wasting your career doing this, that, and the other thing. Where it's like, this could be the most important thing that ever happens to the human race, and it needs to be taken seriously. It needs to be taken seriously again with math and science, the universal language of of the universe, if you will, because the laws of physics apply everywhere, even if we don't fully understand them, and they can do stuff that we can't. They've still got the same math and science and physics and everything that we do, just because the universe is the universe. So, but we don't know everything about the universe, which is where it gets interesting.
One of the big problems is a lot of people say, well, nothing can travel faster than the speed of light. Well, some of the research recently, the Albuquerque Drive and some other things, is opening up the possibility that it can happen. And I look at it this way: if any one civilization amongst all those that I just described, possibly out there, probably out there, if any one of those civilizations can figure it out, then probably lots and lots and lots of them have. So
Sure.
The distances are vast, so maybe that's why they just show up every once in a while. But that's my personal opinion on it. Is that you can't get past the speed of light for this to happening like it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm completely open-minded as far as those kind of statements. Well, this can't happen. That well, I mean,
Who knows?
we've said a lot of things that can't happen, and then they happen. So, but I'll be honest. Me personally, I'm not convinced that it's happened yet. But I want it to happen. I look at it like I want to win the lottery, but I'm not going to start celebrating as if I won the lottery before I won the lottery. But man, do I want this to be real so bad. It's not even funny. And I'm inspired by people like yourselves who are out there doing real work to try to bring something to fruition that you really believe in, right? That you're very passionate about. And I think at the end of the day, if we get some sort of public general disclosure that the majority of humanity accepts, right, as this is really happening, I think it will come from people like yourselves, to be honest with you. And so that's that's really cool. Maybe I go back and forth, to be honest with you. For me, it's like a roller coaster ride in this field. You know what I mean? There's some certain days I wake up and just go, this is all bullshit. What am I doing with my life? And the other days I wake up going, oh man, this happened. Look at this case. It's so much. It can be very frustrating. And I haven't yet had a personal experience that would send me over the edge, because I can see how that would totally change your mindset, right? And kind of put you in a different category. I want it to happen. Trust me. I'm praying for some sort of event or something like that to happen that would just convince me personally. I'm a little selfish. Like I just want to know. Yes, it'd be great if the world knew and all of that, but I just really want to know not only if it's happening here, but the history of it, how long, like y'all were mentioning earlier, if there's different species and all these different things, and what life is like out there in the universe, and is it all connected, and we're just not part of the trade routes yet, at least aware of it, right? But yeah, I do imagine some sort of Star Wars type universe out there with all this life, because it just seems like a big waste if it's just
be a waste of space, right? Yeah,
waste of space. If it's just us, if we're the best the universe has, oh my god, it's like you look at reality TV or something, you're just like, oh, this can't be it. This can't be the best thing we can offer. No, that's really cool. What sort of I know you're fairly new with getting this out. You said about 6 months. What are some roadblocks that y'all see, moving forward, that you're trying to sort of get around?
Getting and getting members. We haven't been at it too long yet, but when we've already got, about 70 units of the UFO Sense out.
Yeah, we've got 450 people who have signed up to be our Patreon, but
that's great.
Only about 10% of them have signed up for the paid Patreon. Otherwise, they're just getting our announcements. They're not getting these notifications. So what we need to is get past that little paid barrier of $5 a month. Do this, and you'll be in the know. We'll need your longitude and latitude and the number that we can send a text message to, and then you're in. That's what we need. So no, it's a matter of getting the word out, getting people to want to play. And I know that there's plenty of people that want to play. And this is more mainstream, again, math and science. So it's not as woo-woo as some of the people in this field, attract. So it's not just for the people that believe. This is for the people that want to prove. And that's what we want to do. That's what we said from the beginning. How do we prove this? John Scott, very interesting experiences, but how do you prove them? How do you prove them to anybody else, or are they just a good story? And that's what we want, is these to be more than just good stories. We want data, photos from multiple locations, things that back it up, and people can say, I did see that. And we don't know what that is. And it needs further study. And in our data, again, the other thing is most people have this data kind of behind a locked door. And we don't. Our sightings.ufotrack.com, it's open to the public. You can go see what we're seeing live. So as these units detect, the map is instantly updated. As somebody goes to report.ufotrack.com, the map is instantly updated. And then it's followed up with an email. What did you see? Give us this, and send in any photos that you have. And we can actually, in near real time, be putting up photographs of a sighting as it's happening. And gosh, nobody else is doing anything like that. But what a fun place to play. What a fun place to even monitor. We'll have, we're updating our website so that the last 10 sightings will be available, without even signing on or surrendering your email. But these people can watch in real time. And that's the fun of this. Nothing else is real time. Everything else is after the fact, or triage, or like go in the hospital and being treated, and investigated for what it was. But it's not something that you can affect in real time, where people actually out there gathering data can. And this is what UFO Track's all about, is real time UFO witnessing and data gathering, and then later investigation.
And going back to your point earlier, Patrick, where you said it's hard to, you want to believe, but it's really hard to believe sometimes. I go through that same thing. Like EJ said, I've had some real experiences that those are the 100% things to me. And of course, one was under hypnosis, so that drops it a slight bit, but I still had some very interesting experiences, and a medical intervention even, those kind of things. But then when I hear these other stories from some people, I always say, are they telling the truth? Is this real? What did they really see? So I get the confused kind of feeling about it all, but I know there's real stuff going on. This is a serious subject.
Sure. Well, doesn't matter if y'all believe in it. It's something you're passionate about, right? You're trying to get out. I respect that about people. Again, it's something you believe in, and you're out fighting for it. I mean, what more is there in life? Like, I totally respect that 100%. And anyone that's not on board or putting you guys down for that is ridiculous. Like, do what you want with your life. This is what y'all want to do, and I would support that.
We're not seeing a lot of resistance. No. A lot of
that's great
dismissiveness, but nobody has been, oh my gosh, you guys are whatever.
It's been amazing.
That's great.
The closest thing to that was when it's how close does the unit something have to be to the unit? We don't know yet. So the we don't know yet, or
experimenting
this out. This is a grand experiment. We don't have the answers. I always say be in search of the answers, but run like hell from somebody who thinks they found them. There's just more to this world than we'll ever really be able to find out. But we'll get the answers that we can, and as we do, we'll share them. And
it's data. It's data towards going for this, right? And people can do with that what they want. But y'all are collecting data that can help. We don't know all the questions that need to be asked, so you don't really know all the answers together, right?
We don't know yet.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know what you don't know yet, so it's just a matter of, well, we're just doing the best we can. We're throwing a net out. Let's get as much information as we can, and let's see what we can do with it, and we'll learn along the way. And I total respect for that.
Yeah.
That's so
cool. Go ahead.
People have asked, do earthquakes also set this off? Because the shake alert stuff question. Like that alert everybody in real time. They use the magnetometer and the accelerometer as well. But our settings are such that where we have these units, they've not gone off with earthquakes. We've got a couple up in Alaska. And so earthquakes aren't going to give us a false positive.
Got it.
We have gotten some false positives from cats even. Professor Simon in France, he said his unit went off, but his cat was sitting right next to it. So we don't know what the cat did, or if the jingle from the cat was too much metal real close, or what.
I think that cat's an alien. I'm just saying. I've seen Marvel movies. I know what's up. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So y'all know Professor Simon?
Yes.
Oh, great. Yeah,
Yeah,
A couple
he's
times.
got it. He's got a unit. His unit has gone off a couple times, and we've been figuring out what we can with him. He has debunked all but one of his sighting, or all but one of his detections. But I mean, that's what we do too. Is let's
That's
figure out what
good.
this is, and if it's a
Yeah.
mundane, earthbound explanation, so be it. But
Great.
that's
Yeah.
just a data point. So again, we want people, if you see something in the sky, report it, whether the device has gone off or not. Go to report.ufotrack.com and report it so that we can get other eyes looking at it. And if it turns out to be mundane, so what? If you don't know what it is, give other people a chance to also go out and witness the same thing. We saw a beautiful thing that looked like just smoke going across the sky, and I've got it up on one of my YouTube videos, and it like blew a smoke ring. It was just amazing. But people actually took video of this from Colorado and as far south down as Alamogordo, and we could see at the same time in those two different locations this thing blowing a smoke ring. So we can from that determine where it is, how fast it was going, etc. Turns out it was a Starlink launch that hadn't been separated by distance quite yet. It was pretty fresh.
Yeah.
And it was pretty extraordinary. But you know what? I would have loved to have seen that live. It's okay that it would have gotten dismissed.
Sure.
But I would have loved to see that live because it looks such a stunning event. So if you see something, report it, and then we'll get the data out there and we'll figure it out. And if it's something earthbound, fine. But those can be extraordinary sights too.
Yeah.
Sure.
But
yeah.
If you don't know what it is, report it.
I agree. Report. People shouldn't be afraid to report. That's
Absolutely.
probably the first thing to tackle, right? Getting past that.
And it does get automatically put on the sightings map, but totally anonymous.
Sure.
So nobody has to worry about it. It's going to come back and haunt me. It's not.
Sure.
And
that's a good point. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. So
you're saying if someone was afraid to report and their name's attached, like, I don't want people thinking I'm crazy, I'm out here reporting UFOs, sort of. Okay.
The only thing that we have is your longitude and latitude and your email address to communicate with you. But the stuff that we put public is just really the longitude and latitude. And we drop that down to 2 digits so that it's a little bit obfuscated. But the personal contacting information is not there. So you don't have to worry about reporting and being thought of.
Sure.
Badly.
If we have a really good sightings come in, we don't move the report on up to MUFON or anything. We strongly suggest that the witness go ahead and file a report. MUFON doesn't want other people filing for you, so this is the way to do it. But again, MUFON serves a good purpose, analyzing after the fact. We're just really getting eyes to the skies is our whole goal, and cameras to the skies.
Sure. Sort of real-time detection and tracking it, right? Yeah, alerting and tracking it.
The sightings map, we can actually track something across. That's why we need the number of members and a heavy concentration of members, such that as they report, the map populates and we can actually track something. Like I said, from Utah to Wisconsin, or from Texas to Washington, or from Florida to Maine. It won't matter, but these things traverse in high speeds and various other things. I mean, wouldn't that be fun to watch a map just populate with little UFO icons as people report seeing something? And that's what we have the ability to do if you become a member of UFO Track. And we really want everybody to play. We have the technology, and it takes technology and teamwork. So we want people on our team.
One other thing I'd like to point out is that we've kind of hinted that we're really kind of nuts and bolts.
We're just nuts. It's okay.
Yeah.
That works. That's
Me too. Me too.
We're extremely open-minded, and we do consider, maybe CE5 meditating and calling them in mentally, or why even so. Another product we have is our UFO CQ. So this is an independent device, but it's supposed to flash when I turn it up. But
Yeah.
anyway, there it goes.
There we go.
Oh, wow.
What you do is you set this over on a picnic table, you connect with your smartphone with the QR code you scan, and then it lets you on the phone, you can type in any text message you want as long as you want, and it will just start flashing Morse code at high speed to the sky. It's an ultra bright LED, so it's very, very bright. And a couple of anecdotal, can't prove anything, but we've had a couple of very strange results that
responses to those flashes, right? To the messages.
We feel like we did get responded to.
Wow.
And again, on the YouTube channel, there's one that just says CE5 response. There was just lights in the sky. The night the sky answered back is what it's called. But we
set a great title for a documentary, by the way. Really is. It's a good title.
We put it on a table. We said, UFOs, please show yourself. And then we focused 2 cameras, like I said, at different locations on the same part of the sky. And we saw some really interesting stuff. We were able to triangulate where they were in the sky, and they stuck around for hours.
Wow.
And then, so at the end of the night, we just put another message in the UFO CQ and said, thank you. But we could not see those with our naked eyes. We could only see them with the equipment. And it was 2 different cameras were seeing it, and a low light scope was seeing it, a night vision scope. And so that's redundant data.
We could do the calculation.
Sure.
And nobody else was reporting this because they couldn't see with their naked eye.
Sure.
But we have that on video.
So cool. Wow.
It is cool. It's really fun. We love doing the skywatches. We have such fun, and we've had some really dramatic skywatches. So, but that was one of them. I think that's our favorite one. But we called it in with the CE5. Did they respond to that? I don't know. Were they always there? I don't know. But we want to go back out to another location in Colorado and focus where we think we calculated the activity to be, and focus a lot closer and more direct, and see if they're still there.
See what happens.
With the triangulation, we were able to determine they were like 32 miles away and 27,000 feet elevation. A couple of them were satellites because they were calculated at infinity, but these definitely triangulated to much closer, and that was the advantage of having the multiple cameras, is we could rule out satellites at that point. So
what was the message y'all sent out? Curious.
Just UFOs, please show yourself.
Yeah.
UFOs, please show yourself.
Friendly, please show yourself, something like that.
Sure. Yeah. We're not tracking you. But we are. Yeah, that's funny. I tried. I filmed the psionics documentary. I have it coming out this summer with a production company out of England, and I spent all last summer, about 4 months, traveling the country in America, hanging out with a bunch of different people in different spots who claim to have some of these abilities, right? That they could summon in orbs or objects, right? Just, I guess, a lot of different things. Everyone had different ideas, viewpoints, protocols, right? Like, so sure. It wasn't just this one thing. That's something I learned. It was a lot of different things. And there was some interesting, interesting things seen for sure. It wasn't like nothing happened. There was definitely some interesting things, but something I also noticed, to be fair, were people, what I believe to be just satellites and bugs, even through night vision, like just literally bugs that they were just freaking out over. And I thought, okay, there's a lot of interpretation involved. Right. But that's why I like what y'all are doing. There's some hard data to help back some of this up. And I wish I had some of this equipment when I went out last summer, because I realized when I went out and filmed how unprepared I was actually to really capture anything. And I could also relate to people, trying to record, stuff you see in the night sky or photos, videos. It's really hard. And that's why when videos come out online and stuff, you're like, oh, this is blurry and this is trust me, it is not easy to get these things captured. And the personal experience you'll have when you're there in person and witness it or feel it or whatever it is it's just night and day from what you actually get and can show somebody. So yeah, I really like what, I wish I would have had that device last summer. Let me tell you something. I really wish I would have had that.
Well, the double cameras do rule out the birds and the bugs. And
Sure.
for a lot of people that
100%.
do get really excited when a bug goes past fast, and you just can't stop it.
It's hard.
Frame and see.
I get it.
Things that are
But if you have two, then you can dismiss that.
I
And
agree.
that's the fun of it. That goes back to scientific and the math side of it. Just because we need irrefutable data, not just, oh, that looks good. And it's great that it's on video, and it's also great when it's on video. Don't try to zoom in. Keep the background visible.
The reference points.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
So that we can geolocate you, so that we can do the triangulation. A lot of people will see something and think that if they zoom in, they're going to get more, and that just turns into this light blob that can be misinterpreted. Can be.
That was my mistake. I'll be honest. That's I made the same mistake.
It's common.
It's natural, right? You're like, oh, let me zoom in on this thing, right? Yeah, I agree. Yeah, let me see what I can see, and especially at night, that's even forget it. It's just like it becomes nothing. Yeah, like you said, you make it worse, and I agree. Having points of reference, I think the double video, like you're talking about, and their distance, right? There's a nice distance in between to help rule out some of this other stuff. Yeah, just again, really cool.
Thanks.
Really cool.
It's fun. So we're looking for UFOs where other people aren't looking. We're looking in the no-fly zone. We're looking for things that we can calculate the speed on to see if it's really at orbital velocity, or if it looks like it's being pushed by something that's creating momentum. These are things that we can prove mathematically, and that's exciting.
We can greatly increase the probabilities of getting this kind of analysis by the sheer number of witnesses and cameras and that kind of stuff.
100% the volume, right?
And then hopefully it's good enough data that it can be validated and verified by, higher ups or academia or whatever, and the credibility and just the validity.
Yeah,
and
I get it.
It's not we don't want it to be a belief anymore. We want it to be, proof.
It is what it is. Yeah, it's like I don't need to believe in the sun. It's there, right? Like we could see it. So yeah, I'm with you 100%. What's the best? I know it's early, so you may not have an answer, but is there like a best case that y'all have had, or something that you're like, yeah, maybe we should send this up to whoever to check this out? Has there been something yet?
I've got one case from our UFO Sense device that I like to talk about because it's not anywhere close to proof, but it's validating in a big
It's
sense.
Interesting.
It's a
compelling.
Good
Yeah.
People we know were coming home, and they were like 4 or 5 miles from home, and their home was over the hill a little bit, and suddenly their phone went off with an alert because their device at home detected something, and so their phones alerted. Their phones alerted, and then they looked up and they saw a white object coming straight down in the sky right over the hill towards their house. So the correlation there I think was very important. Can't prove anything. They didn't see any more after that, but that's the kind of thing that we're looking for. Just better and better cases like this, and we can really make some progress.
Yeah.
And we had one where the device went off, and then they went outside, didn't see anything in the sky, but the neighbors' cows were going crazy. They called it screaming cows. Their cows were screaming in the next field over. But those would have ended up being unrelated events, knowing, the cows are just screaming, something's bugging the cows. But we had the magnetometer go off for like 40 minutes. And so maybe, but corroborating or coincidental events, of course, the magnetometer went off at their house, and right next door, the cows were agitated by something. And maybe it was a change in the magnetic field. Maybe it was something that they saw briefly, or who knows. But when two events go off simultaneously, there's a really good chance they're related. Till we get some more data, we can't prove that quite yet. But that's the direction that we're going in is getting that. And if it had been at the next field over as well, and the next field over, and again, we could kind of track the movement of whatever the anomaly was. But we think that that was an anomalous case as well. It wasn't, if it was UFO, it was invisible, but, or at least not seen by the witnesses. But
Sure.
what caused that?
Interesting
They've been
nonetheless.
on related events before, you know, oh yeah, they all went off and oh, the cows, but when they go off simultaneously, that's pretty striking to me.
At least something to pay attention to and look into further, right? Like I agree. That's pretty cool. So you mentioned Professor Simon has one of these devices, and he's in France. Okay, so he's not too far from me, actually. So are most of the devices in America?
Most are, but not exclusively. We've got them in about eight different countries, and for those, we've got them in Australia as well. We've got a couple in Australia.
Wow.
So, and the Tasmanian device has gone off a couple times, and it's right on the ocean where they are located. It's pretty fun. It's like, oh, Tasmania went off again. It's very exciting when those things happen. And generally, we put members in at a 50-mile radius, but when we're not covered as densely as we want to be, we can increase that radius up to 500 miles. So I could put you and Simon in if you've got a device, put you and Simon in for a 500-mile radius, and then you could be. Hopefully, I don't know if you're 500 miles within each other, but that's as far as we go. But
probably.
Anyways, that's
cool.
We can do that. We can adjust a little bit. Again, this is we're adjusting our system as
figuring this out. I totally get it. Like that's smart, right? I mean, that would be. I think it would be worse to hear the opposite. No, we're stuck in. This is what's. It's like no. You're seeing how this goes, right?
Need to, yeah.
Yeah, you're adapting as you need to. How addictive is it to want to check all the time on your phone? Like, did this go off? Does this go on? I would be wanting to check that all the time. I don't know about y'all, but if I had access, I'd be like, this one. Oh man.
We get everybody's alerts.
That's what I mean. So you'd be that's going to be addictive.
John's ringtone is ho ho ho.
Yeah, the Santa Claus is in, the astronauts report, same thing. So
yeah, Jim Lovell. Yes, there is a Santa Claus. So anyways, it's ho ho ho. So when we hear that,
we jump.
I don't blame you. There'll come a time when that's happening too much. You're like, we gotta silence this. Yeah.
if it gets that way, but all the same, then we're gonna start to think that it's our job or our responsibility to keep that up, or we just hire people to watch our phones for a little while.
Sure.
It'll be okay to grow our team but people will be watching this, and trying, like I said, this triggers an email. And as soon as that happens, hopefully they'll respond with a picture, and we need to post that picture up instantly. So we do need somebody monitoring it. But no, it's very exciting when we're in the middle of something and ho, 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 drop everything. Let's go figure this out. And it's fun.
Yeah.
We're having a great time.
Yeah, that's awesome. Are y'all going to be at Contact in the Desert?
I wish we could. We've got to go to my daughter's wedding in North Carolina. So
be on the other end of the country.
Yeah.
Well, literally
get to some of these other events.
But we're going to be doing a skywatch on the beach. We're really excited about what we might see there. We'll do our CE5, and then we'll have two cameras separated by some distance, and we'll do a skywatch on the beach. So I'm super excited about that. Yeah, the timing is conflicting with Contact in the Desert. Very sad about that, but we'll be there next year, and we'll be at some of these other events throughout the year. Like we're going to be at the Snippy event in the San Luis Valley in August, and just various others nearby, and we're learning more about the local UFO shows and things like that. So again, those are things that if people want to let us know so that we can be in the neighborhood, let us know. But we're looking forward to our North Carolina trip. It just conflicts with Contact.
I get it. Totally get it. Well, Is there anything else that we didn't bring up or mention that you guys wanted to? Of course, I'll put links down in the description for all of this, and you've brought it up. You've done a great job of bringing up the sites and how people can stay connected. I think that's really important for y'all to do. To be honest with you, don't be afraid to push your thing and how people can get involved. I think that's the whole point. So no, but yeah, is there anything we didn't bring up or something you guys wanted to mention?
There is I could mention a little bit more about the tools.ufo-track.com. It's completely free to anybody that wants to go there. But we've got I like doing software, so I've got quite a few apps, online apps that can do pretty useful things, and some of them are a little bit more exotic math and stuff. But some of them are really useful, like the sky data gives you for any location, date, and time. You can tell if Jupiter was above the horizon and if it's brighter or dimmer than normal instantly. So it's very useful instead of having to go through these other programs and kind of wade through a lot of stuff to figure that out. You get the answer instantly that way. And I've got another tool that jumps right to the ADBS aircraft information. So right on your smartphone, you could in real time put in your location and hit that button, and you can see what airplanes are above you right now.
So you can do some of your own personal investigations with our tools. The top 10 brightest stars are right there. A lot of people will see Arcturus just flickering and going, it was sitting right there and it didn't move. Well, it's because it's a star, but it's pretty extraordinary. If Arcturus was really bright that day and it was in that same direction, you can figure that out for yourself. We've got another one that we're going to be putting on there too for people that like to do sky watches, basically a weather predictor for the next 7 days for what night's a good sky watch night. So
that's smart.
Some things like that. There's a ton of analytical stuff, and then some just good tools of the trade for people that want to keep looking up.
And I'm always looking for new ideas. So anybody wants to suggest anything, that's cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I love that. Yeah.
Again, we're not trying to put this stuff behind a paywall. I mean, we have our membership, $5 a month, but the tools are available. The sightings are available.
Sure.
This data is available for anybody that wants to see it, but it would be great if you could become a member and support our work and help us out, just keeping the lights on here. But we're also not going anywhere.
Sure.
But it does cost us to do some of these things, and that's why we have a really small membership fee. But we want everybody to play. So there's things that you can check us out and play with on the site that you can do at this very moment. You don't even need to give us your email for it. So go check it out.
Just want to grow.
And we want to add good data to previous sightings too. So if you had a UFO sighting in the past, if you can remember where you were when it was, you can go see what days were there, what stars were there. Yeah. What was the weather? He's got the wind direction. If you saw something floating and it looked like the wind was blowing that way, but it was still floating that way, we've got a tool like that. What planes were in the sky, on and on. So these are fun things that these are tools that we use, and we've just made them available.
Love that. Yeah. John, you were going to say something.
Can't remember now.
Sorry, honey.
That's all right. We just covered a lot of details.
You covered a lot.
Yeah, just say we just want to grow the network, support us, but also get the network for everybody's benefit. So that's just kind of a big goal.
It's going to take time, honestly, right? It's just a lot of time. And I know the first, I'm sure y'all know this, the first stages of growing anything is the hardest, right? Because you're just trying to grind and get word out and get people on board. And as it grows, it gets easier, right? Word of mouth, these things start to happen. So no, I support 100% what y'all are doing. And, definitely send people to sign up and support what y'all are doing. Cause again, I think this is our best bet or our endeavors like y'all's, to be honest with you. So really cool that y'all are doing this. And hopefully this little interview will help a little bit and bring some new members on board. And again, I'll put all the links in the description for everyone so that they can sign up, check it out. And if they like it, tell a friend, get them to go sign up, tell a family member, right? That sort of thing. So That's how we're going to do this. If we're going to complain about government disclosures and bringing us, and then people like yourselves come forward and go, okay, hey, I got something over here we're doing. This could work. We got to support those things. I think that's super crucial. And I'm actually going to reach out to Simon and ask him about the device and those sorts of things. I talk to him, I don't want to say regularly, but regularly enough. I respect him a lot. Really cool guy. And if he's using it, that says something. So, yeah, again, thank y'all for taking the time. I know you are super busy, but I really appreciate y'all coming on and being so open and honest and grounded.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Grounded, but curious. And I just love that about y'all.
Thanks.
So,
Thanks for having us on. Appreciate it.
of course.
Very much.
Thanks, y'all.